You may deliver now.
The charge from the cloud has to find a path to the ground. This task is carried out by an invisible channel of ionized air, linking Earth to sky and ushering forth that blinding flash. That channel of air, my friends, is called a leader. Now, the word leader comes from the Dutch leiden, which quite literally means one who shows the way. And just as that channel of air shows the way for lightning, our leaders show the way for all of mankind. But can this ability to command truly be taught? Let me answer that question not with dry rhetoric, but with two stories. After all, we humans are the greatest storytellers, aren't we? Remember Nero, stepson of the Roman Emperor Claudius, a man taught by the great Roman philosopher Seneca, shaped by the greatest Roman training in both governance and leadership. Yet, all he accomplished was quite literally fiddling while Rome burnt, cementing a spot as a failed leader. Why? Because in order to lead, one must be born with the fire within, not simply taught to produce heat. Therefore, let us look at someone who did possess that fire. Immortalized by the Statue of Unity, the tallest in the world, to honor his equally gargantuan achievement. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Born into a humble household of freedom fighters, his childhood, marked by an innate curiosity and self-tutoring, revealed the fire of leadership. Although a lawyer, he managed to accomplish a stupendous feat of statesmanship, unifying 500 princely states into what we call India. But how did he rise so high from so little? Therein lies the quintessence of leadership. It cannot be conferred by tutors or circumstances. It emanates from within. Nero was artificial. Sardar Patel was born to lead. And while stories inspire, science confirms. A landmark 2012 study by the London School of Economics revealed RS4950, the leadership gene. Science found leadership hardwired into our very DNA. And this was not an isolated claim. Multiple studies have showcased up to 60% of leadership to be heritable. In other words, nature, not nurture, holds the lion's share. The fact of the matter is, leadership is not a tool that can be mass-produced in factories. It is an art. It comes with instinct, as naturally to people like Subhash Chandra Bose as the paintbrush did to Da Vinci, as the piano did to Beethoven, and as numbers did to Ramanujan. But here's the difference. You can train a musician or a mathematician, but try making another Netaji. Good luck. Mountains rise, not because the earth was taught, and rivers carve valleys, not because they were told. So too are leaders born, not made. Born, not made. I rest my case. Thank you.
A very good morning to the august gathering present here. My question to you is, if societies consistently prioritize experience over a supposed birthright, why are we claiming that leadership qualities are intrinsic and not made?
No. I must commend the Honorable Interjector for his alacrity. Now, the fact of the matter is, when we as voters vote for anybody at all, whether in state, council, or national elections, we see their records and achievements, as the Interjector said. But how does a person achieve records? How does he make waves? How does he change the world? He changes them just as Steve Jobs said people change them. To quote him, the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who actually do. And that thinking, that motivation, that determination, that drive is real and is inborn. Saying that leaders can be made from manuals or workshops or experiences is a fictitious fallacy. If that were true, I would request the name of the manual Alexander the Great used when he conquered the known world from the Hellespont to the Hydaspes. I asked the name of the manual that Napoleon used when he unified France and invaded Russia. And I asked the name of the manual that B.R. Ambedkar used to forge the longest constitution in the world, which we still pay homage to. To quote Thomas Carlyle from The Great Man Theory, as mentioned by a few other speakers, what is history but the biography of great men? And that biography, history, is shaped by leaders as well as people around them. Because a great leader may be born, but that does not mean, as many speakers have said, that others do not matter. After all, in this very auditorium, it is written that behind every great leader is an equally great logistician. Therefore, our job is not to wield the pen or the sword, but our voice, because our voice is far more powerful than any pen or sword could ever be. Thank you.
Team E, Indian